Hey guys, how you going? It's MKS. I hope I'm doing a good job with this YouTube thing here. I'm trying to give it my best shot. It's a very windy day here in the UK, fairly cloudy as well. You can hear the wind whistling away and knocking something over. It's probably not as bad as you get in some countries, but it's still pretty bad. I think some areas were snowing. So I've talked about it before. I actually love snow. So I kind of want to see a bit of snow in Leicester, especially during Christmas time. Anyway, I thought I'd try and cover some of the topics, subjects, topics, and themes and so forth that I want to cover in some of my videos. I know, like a lot of time, I try and take on too much. I know that, but yeah. So I thought I'd try and. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do it without thinking of a list form. I know I was trying to do it without doing it in list form, but yeah, I want to cover things like stories, if I can, and also like my idea for like the East India Company I talked about recently. I really hope to do a video about that and about my dreams to support India financially and economically, and the reasons why I want to support India financially and economically and things like that, and also other Asian and African nations, for instance, say Malaysia, India, Indonesia, and Singapore, and countries like that, but especially India. And encouraging, as I say, people of colour to support Asia and Africa especially, and as I talked about before, the four. So yeah, I'm hoping to cover as many videos as possible like that, and also like some of the football stuff, like I talked about Serie A daily, daily Serie A, Celtic daily Celtic, and things like that, which as many days as I can during the week. As often as possible. I hope to, whenever I get the opportunity, basically every day, if I can, or as many days as I can. Sorry if I'm not being very coherent. I hope to cover stuff about Celtic and Serie A, possibly do a bit more research about and find out some of the facts I can give you. And I'd really love to hear, as I say, as ever, I'd really love to hear your feedback about what sort of things you want to see. And as I talked about before, like how would you rate my channel, or how do you think I'm going so far? Like giving it my best shot. And I talked about some of the reasons why I think people should support my channel. Obviously, I'm going to be a bit biased, but people can always choose whether they agree with those opinions or not. Because I think I think my channel is a positive, ethical channel as I say, in my opinion. I know not everyone's going to agree, but obviously not everyone's going to have the same opinions about what's right or wrong or what's ethical. I don't really like to say right or wrong, because I'd say that's kind of subjective, and I don't want to be arrogant enough to think that my opinion is the only one or the right one or whatever. But yeah, so I'm hoping to cover a range of different things as usual. And yesterday I finally did a little bit of writing, not as much as I would like, but I talked about how I like to write for an hour a day at least, but I didn't quite manage to do an hour a day at least, and preferably more, but I didn't quite manage to do quite as many hours as I like. But I did write a little bit about some ideas on paper, and today I did a bit of writing, not as much as I would like to. But yeah, I did do a bit of writing about politics, about my political ideas, about what I call my people. By my people, I mean like olive skin people, or people with learning disabilities like dyslexia, dyspraxia, and ADHD, and so forth. Not that I've got ADHD necessarily, or autism or anything, but as an umbrella term, like learning disabilities or neurodiverse people, like working together as well, like dyslexic and other neurodiverse people working together, like people with ADHD and dyspraxia and autism and so forth. But yeah, sorry. So yeah, there's and mixed race people as well, and even a strange term I say, like part olive skin, like someone whose parents or grandparents are olive skin, but the rest of their family might not be. So no, that's a bit of hopefully that makes some sort of sense, at least. I know to a normal person it might not make a huge amount of sense, but anyway, sorry. Yeah, I talked about like politicians from like mixed race and learning disabled politicians, like trying not to take too much from the taxpayer, like trying to not take more than minimum wage from the taxpayer. So like to me that's quite an ethical thing, because I think trying to take the least, trying to be the best value for the taxpayer, And I don't know if I covered this in my political videos I made, but I'd love to have like an independent body which looks at the best, looks at how to provide the best value for the taxpayer. I know there are also organisations like the Taxpayers Alliance and all that. So, but yeah, I'm hoping to look at like how to have lowest possible taxes without necessarily adversely affecting poorer people, but to do so in a measured way, like cutting waste in government, and looking at how there can be efficiency savings, but not necessarily ones that would take from the poor. But also like trying to encourage, like try and support disabled people and other groups to find some sort of career as well. Like what I'm trying to do with YouTube is trying to find my own career and do this for a living. So I hope to encourage other people with disabilities who are like unemployed to actually to find some sort of career, whether that be supporting them to get into business or in other areas, so that possibly they don't need benefits as much, but also at the same time, obviously they're not a financial burden. I say, I hope that makes sense. But yeah, like so, mixed race politicians, like I think his name's Adama Faye. I don't know if I'm pronouncing his name right, but James Cleverly, I think, is mixed race. Chuka Umunna and a few others, and Barack Obama. Barack Obama's obviously left office, but I think all the money he made since he's made from politics, I think as much as that as possible he should give back and like just live off his books or business or other things he's done as an advisor or whatever. So like people might say the idea that I have, like when I say my people, like is a bit is negative or it's a bit prejudiced, but I think there's a lot of good and positive things we do. Like for instance, as I say, if people like Barack Obama don't take more than minimum wage from the taxpayer, then it means that he's being the least possible burden to the taxpayer, and like can make money from other areas. But I don't know if you think that's a naive idea or not, or what you think about that idea. But yeah, so there's some of the many things I want to cover. Maybe I'll do like another list of things I want to cover. I'll think about my titles. But I'll say if for those who might not like the videos where I make lists of things, there's other videos I've got. Like someone said to me, all my videos are about making lists, but actually, or something like that thing said. But really, if you look at, I think more than half my videos are not about lists necessarily. They're about my thoughts. They're not like the lists where I do like part 1, part 2, and part 3. They're probably quite a large minority of my videos, but they're probably not the majority. But anyway, sorry. So yeah, I was thinking like, I would say, as well as trying to encourage dyslexic and learn disabled people not to commit crimes. To be honest, I would also like to encourage us not to join the military and stuff like that, which I talked about before. So, but yeah, I think that like Obama, whatever money he made during office from the taxpayer, I think he should give as much of that as possible and only keep like the bare minimum, and the rest of the money. I think maybe it would be even better if he could give all of that money back, because like he can rely on, he's made enough money from books and other things, so I don't think he'll necessarily be really poor if he gets all that money that he's made since he was in office. I'm sure he'd have more money from other areas, like where he's been an advisor or other areas where he's made money. But rather than taking from the taxpayer, I think we should take the bare minimum. So I'd like what I call my people to take the bare minimum, only the amount we really need from the taxpayer, and try not to take too much. Anyway, so I hope this video made sense, and I'd love to know what you think. Or do you think my ideas are naive, or do you think they're interesting, or do you think they're quite positive and ethical? I think that covers this video, because I can't think of much else to say. But yeah, whenever I go to upload a video, I sort of seem to forget what I'm going to say, but I often have like so many ideas going through my mind, so many thoughts. But yeah, I think like say, especially politicians like Chuka Umunna and Adama Faye, if I pronounce his name right, and James Cleverly, who I think is mixed race as well. I think they should only be. I think that would make mixed race people have something we could be proud of. Like we could say we don't actually take more than minimum wage. Like politicians are on like 60 or 70k or whatever it is a year plus expenses. I think if the ones who are mixed race and learning disabled, like Matt Hancock, who's the health secretary, but he's dyslexic, if people like that only took, I wouldn't want to tell them what to do, but I think it'd be great if they only took minimum wage, and then from second and third jobs they could still earn a lot of money. Like they could still be advisors, or maybe even use this as marketing to say, like, they set up a business and say, we don't take more than minimum wage from the taxpayer or something like that, and then people could reward them with their custom, or they can make money from books or stuff like that, rather than fleecing the taxpayer, which would be quite ironic, because for someone like me who's been unemployed for so long, to actually save taxpayer money. So it's quite difficult, because I'm from Britain, so I'm looking from a British. My experience of the political discussion has mainly been British, but I'm not really that patriotic. So I don't know how you can implement these plans in other countries. But anyway, I'm probably waffling now. But peace and love.